So we teach on love where God's put you, right? Location matters. This idea that where you're from doesn't matter. It's not true. Scripture cares about it deeply. And that having roots and having traditions and having commitments, and like you'll read like this type of tree is here in this area. Like who cares? Why do I need to know what type of tree? Well, because the type of trees you grow up around is a big deal to you. It's the trees you know. And when I lived down in South Carolina, I had this HD recording of a cornfield. It was on some like YouTube page. And every once in a while when I was riding, I just put it up on my big screen TV, and it's just like corn and there's like birds. And it's because I'm from Indiana. I grew up around corn my entire life, and it means a lot. I don't know. It's just symbolic of what I know and I love. And when you read scripture, people talk about the trees and the animals and this mountain and that mountain and this river and that river. They're deeply connected to where they're at. And then like, hey, when you see this rock, that rock represents that. And don't move this boundary. Like just actually recovering a sort of earthy Christianity that understands where God's put you matters, right? And what you do with your hands matters. Somehow Christianity has become only about spiritual things, by which people mean what happens in your brain, what happens in your head, what happens inside of you, where that is not the sort of Christianity taught in the Bible, which is a whole life, all of life for all of Claremont County, right? It's what we say, all of Christ for all of life for all of Claremont County. So you are to have this holistic way of seeing everything you do mattering. And when you recapture that sort of doctrine, people start to realize, oh, when I go to work, that is a ministry unto the Lord. That's the way I bring God glory, and that's the way I do people good. They thought they had to be a pastor to serve the Lord in that way, but all vocations are callings from God. And so those simple teachings so that's what historically would be called the priesthood of all believers. Not that everyone is a pastor, but everyone ministers to others through their various vocations. Teach that while there is one day set aside by God, the secular and the sacred divide is largely a falsehood, and that all things are to be done for God's glory, and that we are to use whatever God gives us maximize it for his glory, even if that means citizenship and opportunities to rule. If you start teaching those sorts of things, then let nature takes its course.